Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather, and of course, a lot of attention for this potential nor'easter for this weekend. We'll look at that. We'll also look at the west. There's a fast-moving front that will be racing down through Montana into Colorado and northern New Mexico, basically on Thursday into very early Friday in northern New Mexico. But right now in Colorado, it is sunny. Look at Winter Park, and this is one of the places I would look at for Thursday and even Friday. I'd look at Winter Park, I'd look at Steamboat, Loveland, A Basin, as this front races basically down the Front Range high peaks in many of those ski areas. So here's Steamboat. I mean, it's a beautiful day up there, blue skies. I mean, what a day to be skiing up there. Again, new snow comes in tomorrow for that area. Let me show you the pattern. The jet is basically doing this number, and it's racing way up into BC and then taking a right-hand turn like this. Big trough out to the east, which is where that low is going to develop potentially and head up the northeast coast. You can see energy here. There's a low here. There's a front basically right here that's going to run down the eastern periphery tomorrow into Friday morning and run through Montana first, and then Wyoming, moving to Colorado, and then into northern New Mexico. The low that is headed up potentially in the northeast will be developing down here and then rolling up the coast. So that is the pattern. Let me just show you what the GFS thinks about all this. American model. Let me take you into Thursday morning here. Notice the very light blues going down through Montana, Wyoming, and into Colorado, and then eventually, that's all Thursday, and then eventually it tapers into Friday morning in northern New Mexico. All right, watch the Gulf, watch Florida, watch the Carolina coast. Here comes our storm developing Friday night, Saturday morning. But according to the GFS here, it thinks it's going to be too far offshore for big snow in upstate New York or even most of Vermont. To get this weekend, the biggest snow, you're going to have to go to Maine, New Hampshire, or Massachusetts. Boston will get nailed. This is a big low. Blizzard conditions there for Boston. There's Saturday midday. Here's Saturday night. There's Sunday morning. A lot of wind, pulling in cold air. And by Sunday morning, it's largely gone. So this keeps it a little too far offshore to really nail most of the big ski areas. Some of them will do okay, but I'll show you my forecast for that coming up. By Sunday morning, there's nothing going on across the Intermountain West. Finally, though, the Pacific Northwest, after what's going to be a relatively long dry streak for you, you will get a storm system this weekend. Between Saturday and Sunday and Monday, you'll get a storm. You can see it moving in there. BC will also benefit, and that low might drop south into California. Not sold on this just totally yet. It's going to have to run over that big high pressure that's sitting across the west at this point. But look at this, though. By the 1st of February, this is indicating the possibility of something, finally, for the Intermountain West, for Utah, for Wyoming, Idaho, and Colorado. This is the 1st of February right here. That is something we will definitely keep my eyes on. Here are my snow totals. We'll do them in two phases. So all of today through the 30th. Again, light snows with this front. Thursday into early Friday from Colorado into northern New Mexico. Shoot for the Continental Divide, Winter Park, Steamboat, Cameron Pass, Loveland, A Basin, Keystone, Eldora. Then the Pacific Northwest this weekend. That's what those numbers are showing. The possibility of a storm system this weekend. Stevens Pass, Baker, Whistler, and Revelstoke will do just fine. So that's phase one. Let me show you phase two right here. This is the 31st into early February. Now, this is assuming that we get somewhat of a pattern change and we bring in a storm system into the Intermountain West. Then we would see these types of numbers. I'm optimistic. I hope this happens because we need it badly in Utah. We need it in Colorado. We need it, absolutely need it in California after the entire month of January was basically a bust. So we need this. Let me show you what I'm thinking for the Northeast. Now, this assumes that the low stays off the coast far enough that Vermont gets very little snow. Light snow accumulations in Vermont with this, and upstate New York barely anything. To be honest, you're going to have to be in New Hampshire, Maine, or in Massachusetts to get the bigger powder. About a foot for a lot of the Ragged Mountain to Mount Washington, Sunday River, Sugarloaf with blizzard conditions, obviously. A bit more in Wachusett because you're closer to the coast. You're closer to where the center of the low is going to be. So that's the way it looks to me right now for the Northeast. Again, let me go back to my phase one. All of today for the West through the 30th. Minor cold front through Colorado, northern Mexico. And then look to the Pacific Northwest this weekend. up there through Whistler and Baker and Stevens and up into Revelstoke. And then beyond that, things should improve by the time we get into early February for most of the West. All right, thank you for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Take care.